Many people think they are good listeners, but in reality, most of us are only half listening. We hear words, but we do not truly listen. Why is this? In daily life, our minds are often busy. We think about our own opinions, what we will say next, or how the conversation affects us. Sometimes we are distracted by our phones or by thoughts of unfinished tasks. Even when someone is speaking to us, our attention is divided. This is not deep listening. Deep listening is different. It is the practice of being fully present with another person. It means listening not just to words, but to emotions, to pauses, to what is left unsaid. It requires patience, openness, and a quiet mind. When we listen deeply, we do not rush to give advice or judge. Instead, we make space for the speaker to express themselves freely. Think of the last time you felt truly heard by someone. How did it feel? When someone listens to us with full attention, we feel valued, understood, and respected. This is the power of deep listening. It creates connection. It allows the speaker to open their heart, knowing they are safe. In Buddhist teachings, listening is not just a social skill. It is a path to wisdom. When we listen deeply, we put aside our ego. We stop trying to control the conversation. We simply receive. This is a form of letting go, a way to quiet our own mind and truly meet another person in the present moment. To begin practicing deep listening, start with awareness. The next time someone speaks to you, notice your mind. Are you thinking about what to say next? Are you forming opinions too quickly? If so, gently bring your attention back to the speaker. Look into their eyes. Observe their tone. Listen beyond the words. You do not need to fix their problems or offer solutions. Often, people do not need advice. They just need to be heard. When we give them this gift, we also give ourselves a moment of peace. Deep listening benefits not only the speaker, but also the listener. It trains us to be more present, more patient, and more connected to life as it is. This is the beginning of true listening. It is not always easy, but with practice, it can transform the way we relate to others. When we think about listening, we usually think about words. But deep listening is not just about words. It is also about silence. Silence is not empty. It carries meaning, emotions, and truth. In a conversation, we often feel uncomfortable with silence. We rush to fill the gaps, thinking that silence means something is wrong. But true listening requires us to embrace silence. It is in silence that the deepest understanding can arise. Imagine sitting with a close friend who is sharing something difficult. If you quickly respond with words, you might interrupt their emotions before they fully express themselves. But if you allow a moment of silence, you create space. In that space, they may find the courage to say what they truly feel. They may even discover something new about themselves. Silence is not just the absence of sound. It is the presence of awareness. When we are silent, we can listen beyond the surface. We can notice the speaker's body language, the way their voice changes, and the emotions behind their words. We can sense what they are not saying. In Buddhist practice, silence is a powerful teacher. Monks spend hours in silence, not just to avoid distraction, but to deepen their awareness. When we are silent, we begin to hear more, not only others, but also ourselves. We notice our own habitual thoughts, our judgments, and our impulses to react. This awareness allows us to choose a different way of listening, one that is patient and open. To practice this, try this simple exercise. The next time someone speaks to you, allow a pause before you respond. Let their words settle. Notice the urge to fill the silence, but do not act on it immediately. Instead, stay present. Look into their eyes, breathe, and listen with your whole being. At first, this might feel unnatural, but with practice, you will see how powerful silence can be. A few moments of quiet can help someone feel truly heard. It can also help you feel more centered and aware. Deep listening is not about doing more. It is about being more present, more patient, and more open. And in that openness, real connection is born. Deep listening is not just a practice. It is a way to transform relationships. When we listen deeply, we create space for understanding, healing, and connection. This can change the way we interact with family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers. Think about the last time you felt misunderstood. Maybe someone interrupted you, dismissed your feelings, or gave advice without really hearing you. How did it feel? Most likely, it created frustration or distance. Now imagine the opposite. Someone listening to you with full attention, without judgment. That kind of listening brings warmth and trust. Many conflicts in life happen because we fail to listen. We assume we know what others mean. We hear their words, but not their emotions. We listen with the intent to reply, rather than to understand. But when we practice deep listening, we let go of assumptions. We listen with curiosity, not with the need to be right. For example, in a conversation with a loved one, we might be quick to react. If they say something we disagree with, we might interrupt or argue. But deep listening invites us to pause. Instead of reacting, we focus on truly hearing them. What are they trying to express? What emotions are behind their words? When we listen in this way, we no longer see the other person as an opponent. We see them as a human being, just like us, wanting to be heard and understood. At work, deep listening can improve relationships as well. Instead of rushing to make a point in meetings, we can take a moment to fully hear others. When people feel listened to, they become more open. Conversations become less about competition and more about cooperation. Even in casual conversations with friends, deep listening makes a difference. If a friend is sharing something personal, we do not need to solve their problem. We do not need to give advice unless they ask. Often, just being present and listening without interruption is enough. This practice is simple but powerful. It requires patience, but the rewards are great. It can soften tensions, heal old wounds, and bring people closer together. More than anything, it reminds us of something important. Every person we meet has their own struggles, joys, and fears. When we listen deeply, we acknowledge their humanity. And in doing so, we strengthen the bonds between us. Deep listening is not something we master overnight. It is a lifelong practice, one that we can begin right now, in small ways. Even a little effort to listen more deeply can make a difference in our relationships and in our own sense of peace. A simple way to start is by setting an intention. Before you enter a conversation, take a brief moment to remind yourself, I am here to listen. When you do this, your mindset shifts. You become more present, more open. The person speaking to you will feel this, even without words. Another practice is to slow down. When listening, notice the urge to interrupt or to fill the silence. Instead, let the speaker finish their thoughts. Give them space. If you are unsure about their meaning, ask gently, "Do you mean?" or "Would you like to share more?" These small acts show that you truly care. It is also helpful to observe your own thoughts. As someone speaks, do you find yourself judging, planning your response, or thinking about something else? This is natural. When you notice it happening, simply bring your attention back to the speaker. Deep listening is not about being perfect, it is about being aware. If you can, try practicing deep listening with someone close to you, a friend, a partner, a family member. Choose a moment when you do not have distractions. Put away your phone. Make eye contact. Give them your full presence. Even just 5 minutes of true listening can strengthen a relationship. Over time, this practice will become more natural. You may begin to notice something unexpected. When you listen deeply to others, you also learn to listen to yourself. You become more aware of your own emotions, your own thoughts, your own needs. In this way, deep listening is not just a gift to others, it is a gift to yourself. Before we close, I want to express my gratitude. If you have taken the time to watch this video, to reflect on these words, or to share your thoughts in the comments, thank you. Your engagement and support mean a lot. If you have liked this video, subscribed to this channel, or even sent a super thanks, please know that your kindness is deeply appreciated. May your practice of deep listening bring more understanding and connection into your life. Thank you for being here.